hat-trick for you, another perfect day for Manchester City.
Yeah, it was started a bit sloppy, but we ended in a good way. So important to win, and 4 out of 4, and we go into national break with a really good start.
You'd not scored in your previous 4 games at the Etihad Stadium. I was beginning to get worried about you.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm back.
You certainly are. I mean, in terms of that today, you had to be patient, didn't you? You mentioned that it took a little bit of time for you guys to find your form. Why do you think that was?
Yeah, I think it still needs. I think every year is like this in this club. We sometimes start a bit late because we are playing the last games because we are the best team. So it's how it is, and we will only get better and better from this. But this start here has been phenomenal and important.
A brilliant week for you as well, of course, with winning the PFA Player of the Year, to get a hat-trick today as well. How do you keep on going? How do you keep motivated? How do you keep as hungry as you look today?
Yeah, no problem for me. I'm always hungry, and it's a new season, and I'm ready for it.
And all that without Pep Guardiola as well. You don't need him, do you?
A good question. I think he misses us, and we sometimes miss him a little bit. So we look forward to having him back.
Well done today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erling.
Comfortable scoreline in the end, but it was a closer game in the first half.
Siempre es difícil en la Premier League ganar cualquier partido, eh?
Yeah, it's always difficult in the Premier League. You know, there are very difficult games that you face. It's true that the scoreline wouldn't reflect that first half that we had. It was far away from the scoreline as it looked. But in the second half, we were a lot better. I'm not going to say we were 5-1 better, but we were very good, and I think the team were a different level in that second half.
En la segunda mitad ya a otro nivel.
We know you like to take on defenders and get crosses into the box. It felt like a lot of the applause you got today was for defensive work. You worked very hard getting back.
Yeah, because they were very low, so I couldn't. And as soon as I touched the ball, there were 2 players on me, so I didn't have a lot of chances to dribble or go past my man. So, but yeah, if you don't have a lot of chances to do that, you have to work on the other side. So that's what I did.
Marco, it's not a close game in the end, but up to half-time it was, and that goal from Nathan Aki feels the big talking point. What's your view of it, and whether Akanji was involved, and was he offside?
This is a huge mistake. Just people that never play football and don't understand nothing about football, if you are in office, you can say that is not, that player doesn't have influence in the goalkeeper decision. If the ball goes in the direction of the player, the goalkeeper just dive. If that player moves, the player when moves, of course, is a moment for the goalkeeper dives, because the ball goes in the direction of that player, and the player pulled away from the moment to the ball goes inside the goal. The player is in clear offside position, is a clear offside here, but in any part of the world.
So just to be clear, you feel that Leno had to hesitate because he was aware of Akanji, and that delayed his dive?
Not that Leno. All the goalkeepers in the world, you have to see the direction of the ball. The direction of the ball goes in the direction of that player. He pulled away from that position, and after the ball goes inside the goal, that player influenced the moment, influenced the decision of Bern, and influenced the decision, even the official, influenced the decision of the official. And for that, they didn't see for us in the same way. And it's really because you speak ourselves, you are football people with the players, not just our players, their players as well, and no one believes how this decision was not offside.
Just to be clear, I don't think he's very happy. But I mean, and I think with good reason. A lot of controversy over that incident. Yeah. And VAR have let Michael Oliver down, haven't they, with that one, Jermaine?
That doesn't mean he's well within his rights to be angry. They've 100% let Marco Silva and Michael Oliver and Fulham down. You can see there clearly that Leno can't make his move right, can he? No. Essentially, once his header comes in and Akanji gets out of the way, there's a little stutter that you just see from him, which is exactly why he should be called offside. There's the little stutter there.
Yeah, you can see he can't move yet because he thinks he might touch it. Yeah. He's interfering. I can't understand why that didn't...
It's actually quite a simple decision. That's the worrying thing.
Yeah. Anyway, another hat-trick for a certain Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
But it's his partnership with Alvarez that's caught your eye.
Yeah, it looks very good. They seem to be really close to each other, and you know they're starting to understand everything what's going. You see how close they are to each other here. I'm not sure if Erling Haaland was actually going to shoot for goal here, but like you can look at Alvarez. He's going in there, bam. You know, that's just a strike. He's just following his nose straight in there. This is beautiful play from him. Gets a bit of luck there, but then once it gets into this situation, there is only one outcome. It's brilliant play. Great. Well, look at this run from Alvarez. This is super. fantastic. You know, Erling Haaland goes short, he goes long, good stuff. Old 1-2 striker play, gets the penalty, dispatched.
Feels like centre-halves have always had so much focus on Erling Haaland, but all of a sudden now, you know, as potent as De Bruyne is and as brilliant he is, you've got now Alvarez to deal with, who's got, you know, a similar scent in terms of getting in behind. But I mean, as hat-tricks go, this guy's just collecting them.
It's beautiful play
Well,
from
that's
Gomez
his
as well.
5th Premier League hat-trick and his 19th career hat-trick, and he's still a very young man, isn't he? It's remarkable, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow.
How many will he go on to score in? I think Shearer's record might be in trouble.
Was he ever away? I'm back, he says. Well, he's got 7 hat-tricks for Manchester City already.
What a player. He's just born to score goals. I love watching him play. The hunger that he's got, he's never, ever going to get fed up with scoring goals, and so he shouldn't. He's an amazing player.
And the fact that he missed the penalty last weekend, you just said fair play to him. I don't think there was any doubt he was going to step up again.
No, and a brilliant penalty and all. You know, he's so efficient, you know, in terms of when he's in front of goal. You see a lot of people, they miss in those positions, but he seems like he almost always hits the back of the net. He always makes the right run. And I like the way, he doesn't look angry when he shoots, but he looks, doesn't he, Al? He looks like he just has this energy about him. He just looks so... Not possessed is the wrong word, but he just looks like he just wants to score goals.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. He'll go to bed at night thinking about goals. He'll wake up in the morning thinking about goals. That's his life. There's no, promise you, I should say, there's no better feeling in the world than scoring goals. Once you've done it once, you want to do it again and again and again in every single game. Of course, it's not possible, but that's why you get into those positions. I mean, his movement there to shift himself, to set himself up for the finish was just superb. And of course, once he gets the penalty, he's missed one. You can't wait to get your next penalty because you want it straight away. You want the match to come tomorrow when you've missed a penalty, just so you can get another one straight away. So that would have been sweet for him, sticking that pen away.
He's always behind the centre back, isn't he? You know, he always feels like he's behind the defender. He's always lurking. You know, whether they send it up at the back post for the header or the cutback. But that cutback, it seems like it's quite a tough finish, isn't it? Because it's coming up pace, but he hits the ball so clean every time, and he's just.
It helps when you're playing in a brilliant team as well. That creates so many chances for you.
How many goals would you have scored in that?
I would have fancied myself to get 1 or 2. Yeah.
And 5 Premier League hat-tricks already. Erling Haaland, he's by far the quickest to that particular mark. In fact, he's beaten a record, smashed it in half with Ruud van Nistelrooy. How many hat-tricks in all competitions for you?
Was it 16?
16. Yeah. Bad news for you. He's already 3 ahead of you. 19 career hat-tricks.
He's going to continue to smash every record out there with if he stays in the Premier League.
OK, great day for City in the end, 5-1. But there was a big talking point at 1-1 just before half-time. With this, Adam.
That's a terrible, terrible error. We've seen some bad mistakes already this season from VAR and officials. This is right up with them. This is the worst one. That is so clear offside. I cannot, for the life of me, think what the VAR is thinking, giving that goal, allowing that goal. Akanji is clearly in the line of the goalkeeper. He jumps over the ball. The goalkeeper has to adjust himself. I mean... Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than it's an absolute howler. And once again, Howard Webb will be ringing Fulham apologising.
Tony Harrington in VAR, Michael Oliver on field.
Well, somebody's getting a break next week because it's just a mistake. You know, we watched it, we were watching it, and we all say to each other, you know, should that be disallowed? Yeah, it's an easy decision. I don't know why they look at it and they come to the wrong decision, but it's just a really easy one.
It's not
at 1-1, that's a big
4 minutes
point in
into
the game.
Injury time, just before half time, they're going at 1-1. It completely changes the game. That was a game changer. It's not Michael Oliver's fault, that is. That's the VAR. It's a clear error, terrible error.
It'll be no surprise to anybody that the Fulham manager Marco Silva was far from impressed with that decision afterwards.
Everyone is talking about now a huge mistake from the linesman, but even more from the VAR. How is possible to don't disallow a goal like that? I believe that everyone that plays football or played football or understands football here at Etihad is 100% sure that is offside. We normally speak about with players, with people in the end of the match, and of course everyone knows that was offside. People that understand football, 100% sure it's offside. And for me, it's difficult to understand how VAR, everything there, the office, they cannot allow this goal because it's impossible. The player is clear in the line of the ball. The player pulled away from the line of the ball to the ball goes inside the box. Clear offside position. It's impossible to understand. And of course, after, what is the consistent? Because I'm sure next time this is going to happen, will be offside.
Well, he's animated. Marco Silva says it's impossible to understand. Dermot Gallagher, why is it impossible to understand?
It's impossible for me as well, Steve. I agree with Alan, I agree with Owen, and I agree with Marco Silva. You only have to look at it once from behind the goal. That's the angle. It quite clearly shows that Akanji steps over the ball. He's in Neto's eye line. I feel for Michael Oliver because as a referee, you're not sure about them things. Stuart Burt, he would know he's in offside position, but he wouldn't know where he is in relation to Neto. But you look at it once in the VAR, it has to be. I mean, this is Stuart Burt's angle. Now he knows he's in offside position, but he doesn't know where he is in relation to Neto. So all he can do is feed back his offside position. I think if you look at Michael Oliver, he's obscured. But this is it. You see this angle, Steve. You see that angle. There, you've only got to see it once. It comes under his foot. He makes a clear attempt to play the ball.
How have VAR seen that and not given it, Dermot?
I have no idea, Steve. And what I would say is, this becomes a subjective decision, doesn't it? Because he doesn't play the ball. And I wonder if the VAR can't make up his mind, why doesn't he send the referee straight to the screen? Because if Michael Oliver goes to the screen, he takes one look at that, he'll just disallow the goal.
Dermot, do you think it's a case of an inexperienced referee in VAR a bit apprehensive to tell a more experienced referee to go to the thing and say, you probably made a mistake, you need to go and look at the screen?
I hope not, Alan. And what you would say, the referee hasn't made a mistake, has he? Because he's not really the best judge of offside, but he's not in the best position to make that decision. But if the VAR can't make up his mind, I default back, because it's not factual, it's a subjective decision. It's just send Michael to the screen. And you and I both know, Alan, that if he goes to the screen, he'll take one look at that like we have, and he'll point and say, no goal. And nobody will argue. Nobody will argue with that decision.
Derm, I feel like sometimes when the referees look at things a little bit too long, it feels like they sometimes come to the wrong decision. Like when we saw it in, the first time we thought, yeah, he's offside. I think sometimes when the refs look at the clips too long, maybe they overthink it. They try and look for something else there, just rather than just seeing kind of the obvious. You do.
I mean, we all know that when you played football, when I refereed, a lot of it was instinct. You went on your instincts. When that ball got knocked in, I was watching the game live. My first reaction was, that could be offside. That's what I said. It could be offside because I saw Akanji. I saw it once in a replay. I know it's offside. Yeah. And you don't have to look at it again. And you make a good point, Owen, because sometimes you look at it and you look at it and you look at it, and you're actually looking for a reason to justify what you're going to give. And you don't have to. It's just make the simple decision. The simple decision there was just a whistle offside.
Dermot, thank you very much indeed. So Manchester City with 5 goals and 3 points. Next stop, Turf Moor.
And that was supposed to be his longest drought in a City shirt, Shay.
Yeah, he's a machine, a goal machine, should we say. Another hat-trick today. As you say, 7th hat-trick for Man City. What a player. What a finish. I mean, the third goal we'll look at in a minute as well. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, let's see then how he did his treble, his first of the campaign. It certainly won't be his last. I get the feeling of this season. This the first of the 3.
Yeah, we talked about maybe Alvarez and Haaland linking up at half-time, and again, it comes together nicely there for his first. It's people say he can't play 2 up top, but they link together nice. We see they've got them circled here, Haaland, and of course Alvarez comes in off the left side. They get a bit of luck. I think Manish off Ream falls nicely to Haaland, but when he's in that position, he's cool as a cucumber front of the goal. Everything just turns to the ice, and it's a brilliant finish.
He just naturally seems to know the most dangerous place to run, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's a great credit that not only can he do that, but he can also finish as well.
The second goal came from the penalty spot. Let's have a look at the decision that first went City's way. Was there any debating this decision? Issa Diop on Julian Alvarez?
No, I don't think so. I think Alvarez just puts the brake on at the right time to avoid the Tete block. And in doing so, Diop just bundles into the back of him. And You know, what a role he's had at Manchester City. You know, won the World Cup at Argentina. You wondered, can he play ahead of Haaland? Well, he's shown that he can certainly play up alongside him.
Brilliant penalty, no chance for Leno in goal. It's a fantastic finish.
As for the goal that completed the hat-trick, could you argue this was the impressive of the impressive of the lot? It was the power behind it and precision as well.
It doesn't strike me as someone lacks the confidence, but this is a player full of confidence, and this finish, the way he comes off the sort of the left back and comes into the penalty spot, is you watch his movement here. Keep an eye on his young kid. He doesn't stand still. He moves in the box. I mean, Gomez does brilliant down the left-hand side for Man City as well, who come off the bench, and this is a brilliant couple. Watch Haaland's movement there. Just them couple of yards when he's into that space, and that's a clinical finish. There's no goalkeeper in the world saving this, and this is a perfect angle from behind the goal. Watch how close this is to the post and in. It's absolutely brilliant from Haaland, and the power and the pace. No keeper saving that.
Yeah. If you're Erling Haaland, you've just picked up the match ball going into a 2-week break. I mean, you're going to be pretty sky high right now, right now.
No, well, you know, seeing how he operates, he's probably just gone, right, one. And now he's on to the next one. He's wondering when his next hat-trick's going to be. He's probably going to go on international break, hope to score more goals when he's away there and continue that throughout the rest of the season. And as you mentioned before, that certainly won't be his last.
Now, Fulham will be looking back at City's second goal as being quite a crucial one. It happened just before half-time, of course. Nathan Ake scored it, but it's the positioning of Manuel Akanji. Was he in the eye line of the goalkeeper?
I think it's a no-brainer. I don't think it's a difficult decision. So that's why Fulham and Marco Silva are extremely angry, especially at half-time. You've seen the pictures. As a goalkeeper, you have to wait and see if he's going to touch the ball, and Akanji. Then Bernd Leno reacts after that. So he's waiting there as a goalkeeper. He waits, and then he dives, and it's too late. The ball's past him. So for me, I know they were talking about a touch, but even if there's no touch off Akanji, that's irrelevant if you ask me. He's interfering with the goalkeeper's line, and for me, it should be disallowed.
The fact that he jumps over it. That must be quite off-putting, as Shay says, for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, Marco Silva's furious because they pushed out to catch the Manchester City player. Whether he was impeding the goalkeeper's view there, but there's no doubt that Shay's correct, that the goalkeeper has a hesitation as he makes this dive, and in doing so, then that means he's interfering with play.
Now, look, some City fans might say, look, we won the game 5-1, so that doesn't really matter whether that counted, should have counted or not. But how important was that in terms of momentum in the actual match itself?
It changes the flow of the game. You know, the fact that Manchester City are ahead, they can actually cruise and keep possession of the ball and wait and show real patience to go in search of the next goal. At 1-1, they need to start pushing the game, and that changes the game. Fulham can then sit back, hit on the counter-attack rather than go in search of the equaliser themselves. So it's a big moment in the game. Yes, City ended up scoring 5 goals on the day, but this was the crucial moment. This was the moment that City didn't look back from.
Tony Harrington reviewing it on VAR. Should he have at least asked Michael Oliver to go to his pitch-side monitor to have a look for himself?
Yeah, I think so. I think the referee's got a referee. And is there any doubt the VAR should say, have a look at it, Michael? I'm not sure, because we spoke about it at half-time. It's subjective. One referee.
Position maintenant. Alors, que se passe-t-il? Le buteur Hakim Ziyech est resté au sol.